Hello. Hello everybody, welcome. I've probably broken something, so I'll be amazed if this is actually working. We are just preparing. Woohoo! Ductopus, hello Ductopus, howdy Daredevil, welcome along. Seems like only yesterday I saw you all. It was yesterday. How are we all? Can you all hear me? Have you all got? Again, I've been messing around with settings today, so I've probably broken something. 1-2 Falcon Punch. Howdy, hello. 1-2 Falcon Punch. What's a Falcon Punch? User not taken. Hello. Welcome everybody. Now we are live on Twitch and YouTube. The YouTube again. YouTube's a nightmare to stream to. It's just a pain in the ass. It created another URL, so if you had the URL from before, it's changed because it's YouTube. But it's live. You can watch us on whichever platform you like. It's a Falcon Punch from Zelda, and I didn't even play Zelda. Falcon Punch from Zelda? I don't recognise that. Well, I don't read anything. That's probably not helping me, to be honest. Falcon Punch is my favourite Zelda character. Falcon Punch? Well, that's news to me. So we're just going to let everybody join in and say hello before we get started. I know some of the notifications are a bit slow, so we'll just let everybody catch up. Again, please let anybody you know that we are live. I've already noticed the chat's not already working here. Can you see the chat there? No, you can't. That's the problem. Exactly. So I will catch up. YouTube, hello. Who we got? Clauser, hello. Lady Infernum, welcome. Nice to see you on YouTube there. I will fix the chat in a second. because again, things break. You know what it's like. Stream Elements has now kicked in and told us the message. Thanks for that, Stream Elements. Rose Cottage, good evening, sir. How are you, man? Nice to see you all again. Right, let me fix the chat that's not appearing here. You should be seeing a chat, but you know, you're not. Dun, dun, dun. Right, I want Botrix chat. Give me your chat. Add your chat. Well, I have already added the chat, but you're not working, are you? Copy link. Okay. This is fascinating for you guys. Control V. Control audio. Yes, go. Go, chat. Pop up on screen. Oh, the alerts are working for some random reason. That's good. Thank you for the follow. I missed who it was because it didn't say it very long, did it? Dun, dun, dun. Wow, that's not working, is it? Come on, chat. Where are you gone? Way. We got a chat box there. Why are we up there? What's happened there? Essie Woods, hello on YouTube. Welcome. So you should see the dual chat now on the right hand side, right hand side, this side. So you can see both platforms, Twitch and YouTube. Again, watch on whichever platform you like. How you doing, Essie? Oxtail, hello, welcome. Again, we'll just let everybody catch up and join, say hello, and then I'll do the introductions. I'll explain what the hell is going on. Is that a CRT behind you? It is. It's a beautiful 32-inch Philips. Wonderful. It's actually got my PlayStation 2 connected, and what is funny is it's a PlayStation 2 and it's my original demo disc that came with it that I got back during the war, you know, that type of stuff. So I like the demo just playing. This is the original demo disc. Where is it? I've got it somewhere. Hell. This one. In the cardboard slip. Look at that. Yeah, it's just quite cool. Just quite a cool background to have on. Well, I've actually got this. This is the Philips 32-inch, and then the special one is the 27-inch. Excuse me, microphone. Get this one here. This is the Sony Triniton, which is a thing of beauty. It's such a nice TV. And I paid in grand total for these two bear moths. I paid absolutely £0. It cost. I got both of them for free. This one was being given away by some old man in like a care home, and he'd taped over the Philips on the front. He obviously didn't like the brand, not good enough for him, and he taped over it, so it was like pristine when I unpeeled it. It's got a beautiful like mahogany style surround. It's it's awesome. And then this one I found, the Triniton, I found in a bin cupboard outside. Like I say, fine. Someone posted on Facebook. I had an old TV I've chucked in the bin cupboard outside. If you want it, you can have it. And they had a little crappy picture, and I could just see the Sony sign and the silverness. I was like, is that a Triniton they've thrown in the bin? And this was in South London, and I drove in South London 8 o'clock at night in the winter time in the dark, and I drove down the road to try and find the house, and it was sticking out the bin cupboard. And I grabbed it. That's the story of those two. Yeah, and now I've got them. I don't need two, but what am I supposed to do? Which one was I supposed to just leave behind? From when Sony ruled the earth. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yes, CRT Tales. Yeah, it's a new series. Checking out CRTs in my room. And then this one here, I don't know if you can see that. That's a beautiful little Sony monitor. What do they call PVR monitor? And that came from the BBC in London. That one I did have to pay for though. That was not free. Are there any electricity left on your wife after you've powered your entire gaming lounge? She doesn't need electricity. She's got books. She likes books. All right. Dyer, hello everybody. If I've missed you, sorry. Hello. If I've missed any chat, I'm trying to keep up the chat, but it's hard. All right. I've got two lots of chat. I'm swaying backwards and forwards here. Okay, I think I'm up to date. Lady, don't encourage him, lady. Don't encourage Jesse. Off grid, hello, welcome. Yeah, so that's the story of all that stuff. So, what have we got today? I suppose we can kind of loosely make a start because I want to keep this kind of sharpish. This is not going to be one of my 3-hour waffle streams. I'm going to try and get on with it, all right? So, as you all know here, welcome to DevTales. Woohoo! Now, if you do mention the word DevTales, woohoo, while you're offline, you actually do have to say woohoo at the end, okay? I don't want anybody saying DevTales woohoo without saying woohoo. That's the law. Because I certainly will. Just to be annoying, to be honest. If nothing else, the CRTs will keep you toasty. Yeah, and this bloody light, this thing is like, well, it's not. It feels hot, but it's not because it's a LED. But you know what I mean. It feels like my face is baking. So welcome to DevTales. This is season 1, episode 1, game 1. This is like the alpha. So a brand new show where the idea is that we take a single game and we follow the progress every single month and just see how the developer's getting on. So we invite the developer in, they show us their game, we ask questions about it. I want everybody to engage as much as possible, ask questions about the game, see how the development's going, and then we bring them back in 4 weeks time and we say, hey, you said you were gonna colour that tree in. Let me see it. Have you done it yet? And then they say, no, I'm really sorry. And then we shout at them and then we check how they get on. But yeah, we just do monthly progress reports until the game's released. Simple as that. So you can follow along some of the problems that they have, some of the successes they had. We'll talk about what marketing they've done for the game, what has worked, what has not worked, any technical problems that you might be able to help in the chat. You know, it'd be great if you can help out. And that is the story. And then we'll have a nice launch party on launch day when the game comes out, so it'll feel like a community game. And we'll have a launch party, we'll have a live stream, we'll launch the game, we'll play the game on stream, and we'll just make sure you all buy it. Simple as that. And yeah, that's the idea. So if that sounds cool, then welcome along. This is episode 1, which is very exciting. There might be some technical problems with the sharing of screens and all that malarkey, but you know, don't worry about it. We'll have fun. So I guess you want to, you've already seen, if you've been looking at the chat, you might have seen the developer already. Now, again, the other thing is, normally when I do the virtual indie booth streams, we don't filter the games whatsoever. Whatever you send me is what we play. Where this show is totally different, and I'm hand picking all the games. So people, you can all apply, but it has to fit with. It kind of has to be some quite strict rules here. So we're going to have to be. It needs to release within around a year's time. I can't be dealing with games running 3 to 4, 5 years. It's no good for a show. You know, I mean, you can take as long as you like, but it's no good as a show. I can't do a weekly stream it for like 5 years. So the game has to come out within around a year's time. I might stretch it out a little bit longer, but we're going for a year. as a target. The game has to already be in kind of alpha. It kind of has to be very early on. So I need to be able to see what the game is going to be like. You know, I need an idea of what kind of game you're making. But it needs to be early enough where things are going to change, and basically I need you to have problems, right? Otherwise, if it all goes smoothly and it goes, yeah, it's easy, I just made a game, here it is, mate, it's wonderful, then it's rubbish, all right? So don't have problems, all right? And then the main rules. They are the main rules, really. And just enjoy it. And I want everybody, again, I'd love it if everybody can just help the developer, share all their stuff, go and follow each other on Twitter, go and wishlist when there's a Steam page to wishlist, all that kind of stuff. And we'll just have fun developing together, but we get the easy bit of just watching and going, what's this? And then they have to do all the work. Development, warts and all. Yeah, absolutely. How could you... I can't read. I need to make this text bigger. A lot of squinting going on here. I have to read it over here. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, right, Scottish. Sir Richard... Oh, it's Skull Commando. Hello, Skull. Sir Richard, Lord and Protector of Indie Games. Thank you. Thank you. Another t-shirt. I need lots of t-shirts being made here. If there are anything you want to clip as well, any segments of this show you want to clip, please do, because it all helps with the sharing and the exposure. So please do that. Will the biscuit game attend DevTales? Well, it depends. Who's making the biscuit game? We need some people to step forward. If you want to make the biscuit game with us, and we can do the biscuit game live on stream. We can do a whole streaming series of the biscuit game. Don't worry. Show off your skills. Wear your glasses, for God's sake. I don't have glasses. Glasses don't do anything for me. I do have contact lenses, but I'm not putting in. I don't have to drive trains anymore. I don't need good eyesight. Come on. Right, okay. That's enough of an intro. It was supposed to be a short intro, but you know, I'm like, anyway. So let's get started, shall we? You want to find out? Should we talk to a developer? How about that? Perhaps we should hide a biscuit in our games for you. And then you can try and find them. I'm up for that. Daredevil. Sneaky biscuits in games is a thing. I should start that. So as you've just seen there in the chat, that is the developer's Twitter. You can go and follow. I'm doing it now. Good. Secret biscuits. Love it. Loving that. Right, do you want to make a start, everybody? Well, what am I asking you? Too late. If you're not ready now, it's too late. So I'm going to change screens, and it's probably going to break, and we'll see how we get on. So we'll move over to the developer. We'll say hello. We'll get them to introduce themselves, and we'll make a start. And I hope you are going to love the show. I'm very excited about it. Again, just share everything and all things. Thank you. That's all I ask. Right. Let me move over screen. So, first of all, Mr. Developer, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, and we'll jump screens. You can introduce yourself and tell us who you are, what your background is around gaming, and we'll just start chatting, if that's all right with you. Okay, we're over. Can you hear us, Mr. Developer?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yay!
It's working. So let me turn that music down so people don't get deafened. So, nice to meet you. Well, I've met you before, but this is the stream. Welcome, everybody. This is the developer we've got going on here. So, introduce yourself. Who are you, and what's going on? Where have you been?
So, my name is Rasmus, and I'm from Sweden, and I am the developer of Dino Egg Death Racing.
Dino Egg Death Racing. As you can see at the top there.
Yeah, it's up here. It's actually running already. So yeah, that's me.
Cool. Well, it's awesome. Again, when you I put a tweet out asking for people to sort of submit for this, and again, because I'm choosing, this is great. It's much easier. Instantly, look at the visuals on this. This is what appeals to me. You know, I see racing, I see cuteness, I see cool stuff. So straight away, for me, marketing reasons, I think this is a great start. So Dino Egg Death Racing. What is Dino Egg Death Racing? So what have we got here? Because obviously you're going to have the initial Mario Kart Diddy Kong Racing feels about it, but it isn't quite that, is it?
No, not really. I think if we're going to make a easy explanation, it's if you have played the Mario Kart game, they had a game mode called, I think it's called Balloon Battle, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. And it's going to be more like that game mode, but you're going to try. If you're going to explain it in one way, if you take that game mode but make it more extreme, so if anyone have played the more of the old Quake game, like Quake 3 Arena, or Quake 3 Arena, or these kind of FPS games, but
so,
you do it in this more cute-ish environment, and I want to have big explosions. That's the whole thing.
So you
all
are
the big VFX.
So we're not racing as such. It is basically like a multiplayer.
It's going to be a PvP game. Like
PvP,
it might be a little bit misleading because it's called racing, but I mean in a way it is a race.
A race to survival.
For your life.
Yeah, I like it.
The race for your life. No, but I don't. So the name in itself, just to explain it, it came a little bit as a joke, because I was when I thought about that, it was like, okay, everyone likes dinosaurs. Like that's that's the start of this game. Like, who doesn't like dinosaurs?
Everybody likes dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly. So I went with that, but it, I couldn't really get my head around, like, how can I make a game where you play as a dinosaur? So I started to sculpt a little bit in ZBrush. It's one of the 3D programs that I use, and then it came to me like this, because when I was thinking about what kind of game do I want to do, what kind of game do I want to play, because I think that's kind of like important when it comes to don't develop what's popular, try to develop what you actually like, what will bring joy to you when you play it yourself. And I really like the Mario Kart Balloon Battle, but I think it's half destroyed now. But the older ones, it was real fun. So I went with that, and then I had the dinosaur thing, but you couldn't just put the dinosaur in a car, so I put it in an egg. And and then it was like a dinosaur's egg, and we're going to destroy each other. So death, I guess, and it was like dinosaur egg death. We put in racing as well.
Put in racing,
So yeah.
I mean, okay. So what? Let me just check the chat before we go there. Best name ever we've got for. How is this mode plays though? What do you mean, the PvP mode? Yeah. So okay, we'll go over that. Maybe.
So.
Share the Discord. I will try and share the Discord screen. It is full screen, everybody. The thing is, I kind of need to keep the chat on the side here. This is the problem. I do, because it's in multi-chat. I will see if I can share the Discord screen as well while we're here. So let me just see if I can do this while we're doing this. I think it's very problematic to call a game racing when it's not racing, because it will confuse people. Well, you are.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, like I said, you are kind of racing.
But I think, not sure, but I think, because it's something that, we will see. So, and I assume we are going to go over this a bit more in the stream. But I also want to point out that it's not going to be like one game mode in this. And so... you will have a kind of a racing as well, but not in the more of the traditional way, where you have a track where you just loop it around. That will probably never happen. But in a way, it will be a kind of racing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, but this is the point. This is what's interesting to discuss this stuff, because you never quite know. Until you start making it, some things will make sense, and it's only when you start talking to people about it and they throw out questions. So
exactly.
This is the whole point.
So I can. So the first game mode that we are working on currently. It's that's maybe also important to say. I'm not a solo dev. We are two people currently. Easiest to explain our different role is one of us two. He's the coder, and I do the rest. So, so that's why I'm on the stream, and I have stand for the art, like in the game, and like when it comes to the concept of this game as well.
Yeah.
And he's the coder. So I will probably have a little bit problem if I get the code questions, because it's not on my table.
Yeah. So there's two of you developing it. Yeah. So again, it's the perfect setup, isn't it? A creator and a developer. So that is an awesome way. Now I'm just trying to make the Discord a bit bigger for everybody. Is that any better for everybody? Oh, that's just I can't have it that big. I'm sorry, everybody. It's exactly the same as I had it. See, I can't make it any bigger without losing the chat, I'm afraid, everybody. But I can do this if this is easier for you, and I can move the chat. I'm just trying to set this up so we can get the get this set up for everybody. So I can have the chat on the side like that. Is that any better for everybody? Is that better for you? Can you see that? We'll wait for confirmations. Yeah, for instance, you have Racing Fest on Steam. Is it clear if you can participate or not? Okay, yeah, good point. Yeah.
So if you go through the game modes, this is going to be a multiplayer game. That's one of the core mechanics of the game. It's going to be multiplayer, and it's going to be a player versus player as well. And we will see, currently we are talking about 4 versus 4, and free for all, like for the first 2. But we want also to implement the capture the flag as well, and maybe this is nothing that I have gone over yet with the coder, but I was a little bit curious to work on a game mode where you have this much smaller arena, where one of the player, it's going to be random, will have a bomb on it that have if you touch another character or another player, the bomb will switch to that player.
Right. Okay.
But that's more of a working concept in my own head.
Well, again, this is part of the development, isn't it? You just got to have ideas. You talk to the coder and say, "Can I do this?" And he says, "No." Can't do that.
Exactly. That's the idea. And probably that is how it's going to be as well. But
okay. Well, so looking at some questions quickly. So we've got some questions about. So the racing thing. So it is something to look at. Because it does seem to be split opinion here. Some people are saying that you can be quite loose with it because you are driving a vehicle, so you are racing. Then other people are saying no, it's not because of the tags. So it's definitely something to look at and to keep in mind.
It might be something to look at, and to be honest, when I started creating this game, I got quite surprised, to be honest, when I opened, because I started this Twitter account the 25th of January, just to throw things out and see what's happening. And when I look at statistics, it went quite fast to be you have I think the first week or something like that, I get over 100 likes, and I went a little bit this is not that usual, because I don't have that much experience when it comes to marketing a game through Twitter, but I have quite a lot of experience when it comes to marketing itself, and I know that when you start a new account,
it's hard, man. Very hard.
Yeah, you should be happy if you get one the first week or something like that. So I think it's going to be maybe some loose threads in this, because I'm really happy about it. I want to be clear about that. I'm really happy that it's going so well with the people that have seen this game. But I wasn't prepared for it. So I just thought Dino Egg Death Racing sound fun.
Again, you already captured. The artwork is instantly recognizable and really eye-catching, which is a great for social media. You need that. It is something you have to bear in mind. I just want to. So Daredevil has just asked the question: are the flames a noise-based shader effect or layered animated particles?
It's particles.
Particles. There you go, Daredevil.
Yeah, so particles.
Also, what was the through process of going for thought process of going for cell shading? That's hard to say.
Yeah. So the thought process there was like, how do I do this? And then YouTube, and I started to look through YouTube tutorials. Nice. It's not so. I am a character designer. That's my title and what I'm working with at full time currently. So my thing is not VFX, and it's not like level design or world building. I have experience in all of the field, but not as much as I have in character design. Right. And for me, it became so much easier to go first to try to make the main character. It's going to be multiple characters in this, but start with one main character, and then I have built out the graphic from that stage. Right. And when it comes to the VFX and part like that,
I was just going to say,
I have.
How so? Okay, so if you're an artist, you've come from the artist point of view, which is actually rare to find someone actually making a game who's just coming from.
I figured.
I'm asking why cell shading. Why did you choose cell shading though? That's the question.
Why? Okay. No. So from the beginning, the original character this is the original character, but when it came to the process of making something cute and a little, because this is going to be a little bit in the marketing question, but I didn't want to. I want this game to be available for everyone, and this is just in a selling point, to be honest. Like, I want so many people feel like, okay, this is something that I can buy, no matter if you are like 5 years old or 50 years old.
So it was the visual feeling and the appeal that made you choose cell shading. Okay, that makes sense.
And the first version didn't have cell shading on it, and I thought it looked quite alright. But something that became, because something that when it comes to art in itself, like, you can make an amazing character, but if the environment doesn't fit, it's just going to be a weird breaking point between the character and the environment. And you want to have this illusion that this is a real world and everything is fitting together. And cell shading is like, it makes it so much easier, because now you can, something that I don't use any normal maps, for example, in this game. This is only color textures, so I don't have any normals, I don't have any scattering, I don't have any like roughness or whatever. Everything is just hand painted in Substance Painter to get this cartoon look, and then you have the toon shade or cell shader on it to get some kind of outline and give the illusion of the normal map. Yeah, it's just that I feel it fits to the extent of how the feeling I want to get out of this game.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, again, I think it looks great. I mean, let's work on texturing properly. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just a visual effect. I mean, it does. I mean, it looks lovely. I mean, it does look really nice. Now, what? Okay, so how far into this game are you? How long have you started? When did you start development of this game?
8 weeks ago.
Wow, 8 weeks ago. 8 weeks ago. Okay, so
I think 8 or 9. Say 10, just to be safe, so no one just called me out. I found something 9 weeks ago. Let's say 10 weeks ago.
Can we see a bit more of the environment? Can you just drive around a little bit and just show us a bit more of the environment, so we can have a look? What platforms are you aiming this at? Says Mark. Hello, Mark.
So first of all, it's going to be PC, because I want to release it on Steam, and I'm actually going to I can actually do it like this, because this is why I have this chosen. Is I want to talk a little bit about because this is going to be a tutorial level actually.
Okay, interesting.
So this one is maybe not feel like how are you going to have a player versus player battle on this map, and the reason B is because it's not, this map is not made for that. Yet.
Okay, yeah.
This is I started to like this really much, so I think I'm going to rebuild it a little bit so I can use it for both. But from the beginning it wasn't intentional, it was just going to be a tutorial stage, so I can actually load up
Okay, we've got another question. Daredevil says, how are you planning on stopping the stencil outline displaying the edge below the lava surface? Wow. That sounds like a programming problem.
And I think I need to hear that question. I think I need to hear that question again, because I'm not.
That's okay. How are you planning on stopping the stencil outline displaying the edge below the lava surface like that?
So are we talking about this yellow part?
Well, I think it's those. Is it not those grey? Is it not these bits? The grey bits, like the pencil marks.
Oh, the pencil. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't plan to do it. Like, one thing that I can do, because now this is see-through, I can just make it solid instead. But something that I'm want to do is like so something that. And this is going to be a time thing. So in the end, if I feel like, okay, it's too much things that take time right now, I will probably not include it. But something that I think is a nice detail in any game, it doesn't really matter what kind of game you're creating, is that you, even if this is lava and probably no one is going for a swim in it, it's a nice thing to see that there are like objects and other things in like. So you don't just have a big pile of lava in this or ocean or whatever.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So like maybe some cars that are like destroyed, some bones and things like that. It can be a little bit of whatever. But so that's why I have it. So I'm not really planning on removing it, and it shows more this outline in the scene compared to the game.
Yeah, well, it's got here that doesn't that only show in the editor?
Yeah, or at least much more.
Right. Okay. It'd be interesting.
Where do you have? So
what you're looking for stuff. So everybody in chat, what are your first initial reactions to the what they've created so far? What are you thinking? I think you should keep the under lava lines, but maybe you should give them a red tint to make them look more transparent. Okay, that's a good idea. Says J number 7. I don't know how you've done this in 8 weeks, to be honest.
So I think this is like. I think it looks so much more advanced than it actually is. Because and I think in another way, because as someone I think mentioned at least that because I only use one texture, like I only use color. I don't need to go through like, okay, how is the normal bait here? How is the roughness and metal and like when you're creating material. So right now I created one material, for example, and then I just copy paste it and just throw it on everything, because I just need to change colors.
It gives you something to start with, doesn't it? By just putting something down, and it makes you, like you said, it makes you feel like you've done a lot more without actually doing anything. You can work on texturing it how you want it to be.
And you can see it quite clearly when it comes to like because this is also like this little dinosaur here. It's the same car. It's just a different color, and it's the same like. So the T-Rex and this Triceratops, it's actually like the same model. I have just tweaked it a bit, but these tweaks makes huge difference, you know.
Yeah, they look great. I think the cars are really cool. Essie says, if this is done in 8 weeks, I need to find a new hobby.
No. So, and that is something that I want to be clear as well, because even if this is made in 8 weeks, we are 2 people, first of all. I haven't done any coding. I have only done the graphic parts and these kind of things.
Well, people are loving the artwork. People are loving the graphics and the style of it already. I mean, that's already come up.
Then we also need to take include, like, I have 4 years of character development.
This is not a solo game dev making their first ever piece of artwork in the game.
And I'm working on, I'm working with games already. So it's also, I think people need to be humble to themselves. This is not like, oh, I should try indie dev. And here we are.
Oh, well, 8 weeks later, look at this. This is right.
Yeah, that's not how this works.
Of course.
I have struggled quite a lot when it comes to creating, and not only when it comes to a game, like when it comes to just characters in general. So
that's fair enough. We got another question from user here. Did you do research? Oh, did they do a research the game? Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just reading. Okay, did you research the game if it can be successful? Modern players have different preferences than older players, like us. Hang on, what are you saying? Hang on. For instance, a lot of newer players don't like to play turn-based games at all. Oh. Did you research the idea first, or was it just something that came to? How did you decide on? I know you spoke about it a little bit earlier.
Yeah. So actually, I have the stream up on my second screen, but for some reason it fails for me, so I can't see it anymore. But either way, so this is not actually the game that I wanted to create from the beginning, and I think, and it's not because I don't like the idea or anything, but the first game idea I had, and this was around maybe, I don't know, last summer or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's a completely different game. It's I don't even know how to explain it, because I have never come across a game in that in the way I wanted to create. It's like a tower defense, but if you take a tower defense game but combine it with like Diablo 2 or something like that. Yeah. So and I will not go into it, but because it's nothing that I'm developing, so it's just a waste of time. But the main thing I want to bring about that is I wanted to create that game, but then I started to see like this is going to take so much longer time that I want to put into it, because I want to create a game in a year, years of time. Yeah.
So that was a conscious effort to think, you know, what game can I actually get released first that I enjoy making, and you got to take into consideration that it's a game that you think will do well, even just visually for promoting purposes. It's an easy game to promote because it looks great, doesn't it? And it's something you can get out the door within a year. You're hoping. I appreciate you hoping. I've just got how much do you think you changed between the early days of game development until now? Well, that's a long question. That's a big one.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Okay. So yeah, the short answer, a lot. But if I try to narrow it down a bit, we actually have the beginning when it came to game creation. I only had like, oh, this idea feels so cool. Like I want to make a game out of it, and it rarely works. You can't have like an idea. Or like when it comes to the mechanic, like I have this mechanic for a game and now I want to develop a full game out of it. Mm-hmm. If you would ask me 4 years ago, and someone, I know I spoke with you about this the first time we speak, like if you take the Portal gun, for example, I think that's the only game I know of that it's like, okay, you made up like a core mechanic for a game and then you build a game after that.
Yes.
And I think I had the same mindset, like that's how you build a game. You come up with a core mechanic and then you're trying to make a game, instead of trying to come up with a game and then try to fit core mechanics to it. Right. That's the biggest change, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, so Essie has just said, where we said, I might have missed this, but is this your first game or have you released before?
I haven't released any game before, but I'm working on a game, and hopefully it will be released quite soon. But that have been a much longer development.
Okay. But that's a separate company you're working for doing stuff.
Yeah, that's a separate company, and I think it's great. I just want to put it out there, but because I'm not the one in charge of that game.
Of course, it's not your thing, is it? It's not your dinosaur.
No, exactly. It's not my game. So I think it's great, but I want to focus on my own so I don't get fired.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. Yeah. I love my job. Don't fire me, but I'm just making this.
Yeah, exactly.
So just go. So Philippe says it looks good. I'd like to know what's the objective of the game, or we're going to shoot other cars. Yeah. So again, Philippe. So a bit earlier on. Again, this VOD will be available. So if you want to check any details, the VOD will be available for everybody to catch up on. But yeah, so this is a PvP battler, basically, vehicle battler. Yeah. That's what it is. So again, as the examples given, if you think about Mario Kart balloon battle, where you're in the arena, got to pop each other's balloons. That's the sort of mental headspace you need to be in to think about this game. It's not a track racing game where you pick up collectibles. It's not that type of game. It's a PvP battler, arena battler. If that answers the question. Let me just see where we are. Again, I'm having to read both chats on both screens here, so bear with me. How are you? No, we've done that. That's from Dev. Okay, all right. So let's move on to the next bit. I want to talk about technology while we're here. I want to talk about. So this is Unity. We know that. We've covered that. This is all. Why did you choose Unity? Let's start with that.
So the main reason why I use Unity, I was going first to use Unreal Engine, to be honest. But the guy that code, he is more familiar with when it comes to C#, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's C+ you use in Unreal Engine. As I said, I'm not a coder.
It's C++, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I'm not a I'm not a programmer either, so it's.
So and just because I don't code, it became a little bit in the sense of like, should I be the one deciding what engine to use?
Yeah, when only if he can decide. Only if he can decide which art program you use.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a little bit like that. And he's probably gonna choose Paint, and it's going to be going to be horrible. No, but so that's one of the reasons. But the other one is because with the other game I'm working with is actually Unreal Engine, and it's and Unreal Engine is actually the engine that I am familiar with and using on a daily basis.
So it was just familiarity. That makes sense. The Daredevil was saying, how do you feel about the problems Unity has been having of late? Did that come into your thinking when you chose the engine?
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah, of course.
Because and that was actually when I read about the part of when it came to that Unity was going to make the new payment system and things like that. It was a little bit like, okay, you can't, like, Unity is dead. Like, just drop it. It's going to be Unreal Engine for sure. But then they changed their mind, and the more I was thinking about it, and this was actually a thing that I was thinking about quite a lot. Like, I think it took almost 5 weeks before and this was when I was supposed to create this other game that I decided was going to take too long time. But they changed their mind, and after a while I went a little bit like, Unreal Engine is so, like, it's great. It's a really good engine, but the problem is that it's so complex. Like, Unity in a way is so much more simpler, and there's so much more information to find, like both video tutorials or just different forums and things like that to actually learn about the engine. And I, at least for me, I think it's much harder when it comes to Unreal Engine, when you have like this problem and trying to use like YouTube it or Google it. It's you have a million different ways how to actually solve one problem. And in Unity, of course, you can solve problem in different way there as well. But it's much easier if, at least for me, been much more easier to find solutions for Unity.
Would you consider, let's say this game is a raving success, which it will be because everybody in chat's going to buy it.
So then I can pack my things and go home.
What about a future game? Would you look to move away from Unity? Like, is it playing on your mind that it's Unity long term?
So
if you had okay.
This game that I want to create from the beginning, but I think so. I think it's going to be impossible to create as a 2-people team. So if we are going to look in the future, and what I really hope is going to happen is that this game is going to be so successful that I can go and probably hire some people, like have I don't really care about money that much, but you need to pay your bills and things like that. But so I can work full time.
You need it. You can't.
Yeah, so I can pay my bills and hopefully have. I don't know. I think when I tried to scope it out, this is just guessing numbers with the other game. I thought about if we are 6 people, it should be possible to create it in a period of 3 years. But that's a guessing number as well. It might be untrue.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, just replied to a couple of messages. Sorry, Nutson. Hello, Nutson. Welcome in. Apologies to the YouTube link. Like I said before, the YouTube is a pain in the arse to stream to, and it creates a different link every time you do anything. It creates a new URL to share, and it just shared out the other one. I don't know why it started on that one, so apologies for that. But that's why we're on Twitch and YouTube for that exact reason. So, but the VOD will be up after, so don't worry, everybody can catch up. So we know it's Unity. What about art-wise? What are you using to create the art assets and stuff?
So this is something that I'm more familiar with.
There you go.
So my main tool is ZBrush or ZBrush, how you want to pronounce it. A 3D sculpting program. I think if you're into 3D, you probably know what program that is. And then I was using Maya for a short period of time, but it's too expensive, and Blender have become such a great tool. I really recommend it. And the only reason why I stay with ZBrush, to be honest, is that I already have my working flow. And when it comes to other project that is a little bit more advanced, when you try to make something photorealistic or something like that, it's easier to make it in ZBrush. It's possible to do it in Blender as well, but it's much harder in my opinion. But so Blender, ZBrush, and then I use Substance Painter to texture everything.
Painter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Is that a paid program or is that a free one? What is that?
Yeah, no, it's a paid one. It's I can't remember now who made it from the beginning, but Adobe bought it up.
Okay.
So now it's so I think you can buy it in a Creative Cloud package. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. And what are you using so there's a team of 2 of you. So what are you using for communication and project management? Are you using anything particular for that?
So we are using Discord, that's our main communication, and mostly through text. But we also have voice calls and talk to each other. But I know this person in real life, or what to say.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
So I, it's not a stranger to me that we just met online and now we make a game together. But usually we communicate through Discord.
Okay, that's good. We've got another question. So is there collision on the walls, and what happens if you drive off the side of the track?
So right now I haven't put in collision in because this started as a block out and then I have worked through it. So here, for example, there are no collision. But when it comes to the collision, because I made collision for not everything on the dino skeleton tunnel over here, but because it is a mesh, and this whole ramp, for example, is a message. Well, like so this have custom collision on it, so I can drive here. But I think I'm not 100% sure because I didn't do collision for the whole thing. But
you're just driving until something goes wrong. Here we go.
Yeah. So it depends on which wall.
Depends where you're driving. So
Yeah.
okay. So that answers that question. Is the terrain a Unity terrain? Says Rose Cottage.
Yeah, but not the material.
Yeah.
The material I created myself, and that's in. Oh god, now I forgot the name. It's it's a Substance Designer. So it's a material program. It's a node-based program.
Okay.
I'm not that great with that program, to be honest. But if you know one node-based system, like you have in Unreal Engine, for example, I think you can compare it a little bit when it comes to programming, even if I'm not a programmer. But as my understanding is, like if you know C#, for example, like that doesn't make that you know C++.
No,
but it will be much easier for you to learn a new language than start from scratch. And it's a little bit the same when it comes to node tree, like when it's node-based programs. You have it in Blender as well. Like you can put up this node-based to get different textures or generated meshes, or it can be whatever.
Substance Painter has a visual programming interface, says Daredevil. Okay.
You now I don't really need to do it with the characters or the sculpting I do for this game, but you have this called baking phase, where you make a high poly sculpture, and like this one is not that heavy, but if I would take another character I made, I think it was like 15 million polygons or something like that, and you can't really use that in a game. No. So you need to do the retopology process. So you make a new retopology, but then you have this low poly. So you put it in Substance Painter, the low poly, and then you actually import the high poly as well. And then you bake it over on the UV maps. So you get the normal maps that's going to be taken from the high poly, but you more or less glue it on the low poly. And that's how AAA games looks as good as they actually do. They can have like character when you look at the high poly up to like 50 to 100 million polygons, but then they do the retopology process and have it like on a 80K or something like that.
Okay, cool. Okay, a bit similar to shader graph nodes, says Dyer. Don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit the same. Like all these node bases have like similarities. The positive thing for me when it comes to Substance Designer is that it's always visual. So if you're creating a noise, for example, you will see it instantly. You don't really do it the same in Unity, but it's similar for sure.
Okay, all right. Okay, so let's again, this first show is always going to be a longer show because we have to cover everything and learn everything about the game. So this is why we have to cover a lot of stuff here. Now, I do want to talk about. We'll come back to timeline in a minute, but I want to talk about marketing. This is the big question.
Yeah.
Did you plan out? Have you got a marketing plan, or are you just seeing what picks? How are you dealing with marketing for the game? Are you running it yourself? Where are you going with marketing?
So this is something that is quite positive for my own experience, because I have worked with a marketing team already. So I already have the knowledge on what direction to go for, like what platforms do you want to use, when should you start to marketing your game, and things like that. And I want to be clear, I'm not an expert in this field, but I think I have quite good knowledge compared to people that maybe start their indie development for the first time. So and I was actually in now I can't remember his name. I can link him to you later, but it's a guy that reviews trailers, for example, and I have had a meeting, a one-on-one, or we were multiple people in the conversation, but that we got like, okay, when you make a game trailer, for example, this is things you need to think about. Like, we don't like, if you don't make the trailer in this way, you're going to have problem to reach out to people, and you get good example of what games that have done successful trailers, for example, and what games that have made trailers that, you know, maybe you think it's great, but when it comes to a selling point, it's not as much. So it depends on why you're making a trailer. If you just want to make a trailer because you enjoy to make a trailer and think it's fun, go ahead. Like, I think we are a little bit too much driven when it comes to success in the way of earning money. But if you want to earn money, your trailer is going to be really, really important, and you're going to put in so much time in it. And the sad part is, people are gonna watch, like, you make a 1 minute trailer, people are gonna watch it for like 5 to 10 seconds and going to go, this looks fun, I'm gonna buy it, or nah, this is not for me.
It shows how important the trailer is, and I think it's something that, again, I'm not saying that everybody should be good at trailers, because it's another whole skill you've got to learn. And why would you suddenly be good at making trailers? It makes no sense. You know, who's ever made a trailer before they started game dev? Nobody. So it's important to have. It's good to have some resources where you can learn good trailer techniques. And I think it's something that a lot of people get wrong. You know, the music choice and the clip choice and things like that. And like you said, people look at it for 5 seconds and go, nah. You know, or you waste loads of time putting your logo at the start of the trailer that does an animation. It's like, nobody cares. Get on with it. And,
yeah, exactly. And I think that's something that people overlook a little bit. Like, so it's a silver lining, I guess, when it comes to, you want to really punch in the name of, in this case, it's going to be about games, like, so people start to recognize the name. They don't really need to learn the name, but when they hear it, they need to recognize, oh yeah, that's this game. And we were talking about this before when it comes to other indie games, where it's like, have you heard about this game? And it's like, oh yeah, I have heard about that. And that will dramatically, like,
that's what you want. That's where you want to be.
You want to be at that place.
So
when it comes to the marketing, for me, like, I wanted to start, in quote, marketing as soon as possible. So I think if you go into my Twitter page and scroll way back, it's just like a character, nothing else. Like, I don't think I had any kind of environment or whatever. So I started to post every step that I take. For two reasons. Like, one, for the marketing in itself, but also because it's actually quite fun, because people are interacting with the content I put out. So that just make it much more fun to actually post daily, or almost daily. But I would say, if you're making a indie game currently, and you're also thinking about, okay, this will be done in 1 year, you need to start marketing now. Like, people that start like a month, 3 months before the game is released.
You're out there. I know you're out there. You've spoken to me, guys. I know you're out there, you 1 month marketers.
I will not say it's like 100% doom, but it will be really hard, because it doesn't really matter how good your game is. If no one knows about this game, then no one will buy it.
Totally. Absolutely. I've banged this drum many times on the channel. Hold on, let me just go through a couple of the questions we got here. I think Igor, thank you for the follow, by the way. The notifications aren't on the screen at the minute because I've messed around with stuff, but thank you. What's the plan? I answer. Will the cars hatch from eggs when you unlock them? Nice.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's something that I really and I can't take the credit for this idea. It's actually my little brother that came up with it, because I was struggling a little bit. I didn't want to have like 1, 2, 3, go, and I didn't know, like, traffic light makes no sense. So how can I visually show, like, okay, be ready because the game will start in a minute? And then he said, well, they are sitting eggs. Why aren't they hatching? And I was like, oh my god, that's so brilliant.
Oh, damn, my little brother's a genius. How dare he?
Yeah, but don't tell him that I took that. No,
don't click that
it's
bit.
my original idea.
Yeah, you're
I
a
came
genius.
up with it. I was thinking one day, this is my idea, not my little brother. No.
Okay, so we've got. What's the plan for giving the game character? What's the plan for giving the game character, considering the fact that you're not going to see the driver's face?
So,
giving game character.
Yeah.
I see. Sorry, I read that weirdly.
So when it comes to the character in itself, I think so. Because it's a PvP game, I want to have the ability, because if you just have like this kind of screen I have currently, it would be hard to see if someone's chasing you and things like that. So you have the ability to actually change cam as well.
Yeah, so you can fire backwards and drive forward.
Yeah, exactly. So
nice.
I can see someone coming behind, and then you're going to have an opportunity to actually see the character much more, as you can see here. But also that is, I hope it's written on the Twitter page that I have. But my goal is, when this game is done, it's going to have like this late 80, early 90 cartoon feeling, like when it comes to the West cartoon. So if you have seen like the Looney Tunes or like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or whatever, where they have all these extreme expressions. This is something that I want to implement, just to make the game even more like fun, just visually
fun.
Yeah, exactly. So like, just to have an animation in, for example, like if someone shoots you, for example, it might be that the character actually turn around and like, go up with a fist, like, hey, what you doing? So you have like these kind of morph and these kinds of visualization on the character as well, that will give a direct interaction with the character, even if you see it from behind. But I think it's a great question, because it took a while to figure out. Because I was worried about the same thing.
You put all this effort into the faces, and no one can see them. But it does work well, especially with the battling rotating camera. That makes sense. So user says, how are you going to show the gameplay with the trailer? I still don't understand how the game plays. Well, user, don't forget, this is 8 weeks old, so there's no like real game loop to show you yet, because it's 8 weeks old, that's why. So I mean, the trailer is going to be not easy, but like visually in my brain, you can already see just people shooting each other, and do you know what I mean? You can imagine, I can already picture the trailer of people skidding around corners, shooting stuff at each other, blasting, make it look fun and instantly enjoyable. Just instant action. That's what people want to see in the trailer. And seeing the characters' faces, seeing that it's dinosaur themed, that's what's going to draw people in.
And I actually already have scoped out idea of how the trailer should be, because I've already worked with trailers before, so I have experience how to actually what you expect from a trailer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as I said, I want this to have this late 80s, early 90s cartoon feeling. So I actually I don't know music, so I need to find someone later on in the process to make this. But I'm gonna have it like punk rock theme. You're gonna have some. So you're gonna have like this a little bit of metal soundtrack to it, and then you're gonna have like some lyrics where you sing. Like if you take the X-Men, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, they always sing and more or less explain what the show is going to be about. And this is going to be a little bit the same.
Oh, cool.
Like, they are going to sing what this game is going to be about. You can't argue, like if you take Steam for example, that many people are watching trailer without sound, but you need to figure out like how to visual, like how to also actually record the trailer as well. And I have a small scope on it, but it will be later in the process because
that's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, again, this is where the community can come in, because down the line, obviously, we're going to need some music for this game. So if you know anybody in the chat, or you are a music-y person, then hey, you're welcome to throw your hat in the ring or chuck suggestions out if you've got any ideas. Then this is exactly where this kind of setup now can benefit everybody, because it's giving people, rather than you having to sort of dig into the internet of Twitter and ask people. I mean, that's a minefield, isn't it? So at least if you've got people here that've got experience, then Hexencraft, someone said, yeah, 2 people at Hexencraft. Yeah, Hexencraft would be amazing, absolutely. I don't know how much that'll cost you, but absolutely. So look, it's the other way around. Doesn't matter how much marketing you do if people don't like the game. Well, that is a classic marketing versus the development team talking, isn't it? Yeah, they're both important. It's like, you can't market a game that's rubbish, but you can't. The game has to be good to start with. There's no point. The game has to be good, but you can't just make a game and not telling anyone about it, because that's just as pointless. You may as well make a crap game, because no one's going to see it anyway. It makes no difference. So I understand what you're saying, user, but
I can promise you, if you start to go around Twitter or whatever, or even just go through Steam, like look at the newly released games, you are going to find tons of games that are like really good. They are really great games out there, and I think Among Us, for example, is a great, because it became famous much later, and people really liked the Among Us game. But I think it took almost 2 years before it was like a random streamer to find it and like, oh, this seems cool, and then it exploded because they marketed it really poorly. Like the game is great, but the marketing was a joke, and you can't go with the expectation like, it's going to be like Among Us. Like in 2 years, someone is going to find it and he's going to explode. Like that, suddenly, it's one in a million.
Exactly. You can't rely on that. You have to push it yourself. I'm just going to catch up on the chat a bit. Hold on. DevTales says, I'm allowing a finished game to sit on Steam for 12 months purely to work on the marketing for it. It's genuinely hard. Absolutely is. Good idea. This is a really lovely aesthetic. Sorry, everyone, catching up. Where are we here? Marketing, the other way around. Come on, stop scrolling past. It keeps scrolling. Stupid scroll wheel. Nice work, especially with the ambient level storytelling with the big dino skull with the flaming eyes. Really cool. What's the story behind it? Is it like Dino Pirate Island or Dino Sorcerer Island or something?
Some things that I think, and I know there are games out there that have these mechanics. So I will not say this is unique in any way, but for some reason I think it's harder to come by games where the environment in itself is a problem. Like it can actually hurt you. So if we take the Skull Island, for example, I can show if I can find it.
That came from Otter, who is all about the story. Welcome in, Otter, by the way. Hello. All about the story. So he'll be very interested in any story you can put into this, because again, it might give you the edge. You know, if you've got look at this.
Yeah. So you have like it's going to be a little bit of timing thing when it comes to. Sorry, I need to.
But are you looking at building a story of how these dinosaurs got there, or why are they here? Why are they fighting each other? You know, is there the victor gets some dino reward? Is there anything have you thought about that side of it, or are you not looking to build anything like that?
Currently, no. I don't have a story in itself, and I if people have ideas, I'm open for it. But I want these game, and like when this is going to be a little bit in the same category, not play style, but when it comes to the game feeling in itself, like where you have like these fast games. You know, maybe you're going to play something else, or you're going out and you know, do whatever, and it's like, oh, but this just take 50 minutes. Like we can go in and have like one game, or as like Mario Kart or anything like that, where you have friends over. You don't want to be that invested in like learning the game, or it's going to take 2 hours to play one game. It's going to be fast paced and easy to understand immediately.
I mean, I don't know what was going on in Quake. I never asked. I just shot people. I don't know what was going on in Quake. I don't know what the storyline was.
Yeah, exactly. Like it might be a story in Quake, but I don't know.
So I've got lots of questions to catch up on. I'm sorry, everybody. Studio Primitive. Hello. How are you approaching car physics?
That's a coder question.
Coder question. Pass.
Yeah. So yeah. I know that the system that we have currently, so I'm going to try to at least get some kind of answer.
That's okay. Well, again, we can put that on the question for next week. If you get, we can follow up on these. This is the whole point. If we're doing this regularly, we can answer questions later on in the future.
But I want to just answer a little bit,
sure.
Because I know the system right now on the car is more or less like the Unity library, where you have quite of many like already written like physics, and this is something when the question is what I hope to achieve next month is actually because the coder is working on his custom physics for the car currently, so that's something that he is writing right now. So hopefully he will succeed to have that, and I can go in a little bit more in explanation what's the difference is. Hopefully.
That'd be good. Yeah, that's good. That's something. It's something. I've got some notes here. We'll come back round and catch up on that and see how he was getting on. Essie says, "Could we have a Video Gaming-X cartoon in the game?" Nice one, Essie. Yeah, a bit of
maybe.
Yeah.
Depends, if you make me famous, of course.
Yeah,
but
of course.
No.
You'll have to buy it first. Yeah. Scroll down here. Let's catch up. So it's an arena shooter with carts. Yeah, Daredevil. That's basically it. That's the quickest way of saying it. Arena shooter with carts. Your biggest marketing move is choosing the right game. Yeah, it does help. People have been making Vampire Survivors. I'm just going through these quickly here.
Yeah, I saw that, and like obviously it's true. Like the biggest marketing that you can do is choosing the right game, but also something that I have thinking about quite a lot is like, okay, if we take for example when PUBG and all of these kind of like you got PUBG, Fortnite, and you had what is called I can't remember the name right now, but when it comes to these half open world battle royale game, you can make like a couple of clones, but after a while people are going like, okay, this is exactly like PUBG, and then they don't want to buy it. And the same goes with the Souls likes, or when it comes to I don't know, like you have Diablo clones and whatever, and I think when it comes to choosing the right game, of course you are going to have easier time if you take something popular, but if you don't have anything new to bring to the table, why should people like play your game?
I agree.
That's also really important, that you need to have at least something new to bring.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's interesting to look at. Obviously, there's certain genres that sell better than others. But again, like you said, you still have to make the game that you want to make as well. You can't just do it by numbers and go, well, you could, but it'd be boring as hell, wouldn't it? You do actually have to make a game you want to make. You can obviously look at certain, if you've got a choice between a couple of different ideas, maybe you look into the numbers and go, well, these generally sell 10 times more than this one. Maybe we should start with this one. That's fair enough. But you can't be driven totally by what other people are playing. Do you have a design document, and have you defined the scope for your game?
in my head, I have a design document because I'm the only one that designing. Like if I would have another designer on the team, two-man team, I would probably put in some time when it comes to how to create like this art style. But it's a little bit because I'm lazy. To be honest.
I'm sure you would like one. It's just actually there's so many things to do, isn't there?
Yeah, but also I am like, okay, the style itself is not like a originality in it, but it have my touch to it, and I know how to make things that I do.
Yeah.
So usually I don't need to put it down.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, there are some good templates to just outline maybe some basic rules for the game. You know, basic like ideas, design ideas. So just so when you look back on it, you can say, look, you know, we always wanted to have this done and this, and just to make sure you're on track of where you actually started and where you wanted it to go. So there is that option as well. But I appreciate there's a million things to do.
Yeah, I have like on the Discord we have not a document in itself, but you know where we write down like these are ideas that we want to implement because. What we have said is like it's good to have as much ideas as possible, because then when you remove things, it's not going to hurt as much if you only have like 3 really good ideas, but you see like this doesn't really fit. And if you take away 1 of 3, it's like, is this even a game anymore? Of course it's going to be a game, but if you had 50 ideas, it's not going to be such a game changer if you have 49.
I would say though, after my last month's experience, make sure you're backing up your Discord chats or putting them in, just even if you're just copy pasting them into a Google Doc. I just make sure, because Discord is so easily hacked, as I found out. It's so easily hacked now that I don't think it's a great place to store. It's not to store. I mean, I know it's very easy and it's very easy to communicate, but I definitely think you need to make sure you are backing it up somewhere or having an external document you can at least share and keep your ideas, because you know it'd be a nightmare to lose all the game development stuff through Discord. So just be careful with that, I would say. Yeah,
and I would be quite surprised if our Discord got hacked, because it's just me and the other guy.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. I'm just saying, I would still for my own well-being, my own mental well-being.
Yeah.
Please just bear in mind, just copy paste them into something else.
Yeah, I 100% understand, and probably it's going to be more and more. But you know, everything is going quite fast. So
of course, yeah, and you're only early on still, aren't you? But this again, these are things that hopefully you can implement after seeing it all. Octal says, would you suggest to be a must idea to have YouTubers and Twitch streamers to play your games?
Can you take it one more time?
So do you think it's a must that you get YouTubers and Twitch streamers to play your game?
I don't think it's a must, but I think it will really help.
Yeah.
But I think the difference. So this is actually something that I have been discussing before with some friends, that I think people are chasing like YouTubers and like Twitch streamers or like whatever platform they're using, but they will not be interesting if you don't have some kind of reputation from the beginning. Like maybe you can find some like smaller streamer. This is a little bit ironic because we are on a stream currently. But I mean, when it comes to, I know people that are chasing like these that have like, oh, this guy have, I don't know, like 5,000 people watching his stream. If I could put my game here, then I'm gonna be rich. And it's like, yeah, you probably will, but good luck, have fun to actually manage to get this person to play your game. But if you would have a social media account, for example, where you have like, I don't know, like 2,000 followers, 5,000 followers, whatever, then you have something to back you up. Like, I have 5,000 people right now that are really interesting in my game. Would you be interesting to like play it? And if it goes viral, or if you I can give you money or whatever, you know, you can pay them to do this, you're going to have such a like bigger chance to get in touch with the streamer that probably going to provide.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing your job, if you're doing a
a
marketing job properly, then streamers should be starting to notice your game anyway. Because again, I check Twitter. I get most of my content, most of the games I'm going to play, I get them through Twitter, most of them. So if you're marketing your game properly and running your Twitter account properly, developers, I'm going to shout at you now. If I go to the Twitter page as a streamer, I'm talking from a streamer point of view. If I go to your Twitter page because I've seen this screenshot here or this little clip, I see it and go, oh, what's this? That looks cool. I'm going to click the bio straight away. If I don't see the name of the game, a link to something that I can find out more, whether it's a Steam link or whether it's whatever, anything, or a YouTube page, something else to link to, something I can find out a little bit more information about the game, and a screenshot and a description of the game in the first 5 seconds, I'm generally gone. It's and even like your header image, everybody, your header image, it's wasted so many times where you can use that. You can put text on the header image if you want people to do something. If you want people to know about your game, you can put text in there. You don't have to just put a static image of a screenshot. Put text on there saying, out in November, wishlist now, it's available, a demo available now. Rather than having it in your bio and description in your first stuff that people see, have it in the header image. So things like that, that is when a streamer is going to look at it and go, oh, obviously they know what they're doing. They've got all the stuff lined up. I'm not going to have to chase them for stuff. So just make sure you fill out your Twitter pages properly, and don't just retweet all other games and all other cool stuff that you like, because all your game stuff just gets lost in your Twitter feed and no one knows what the hell it is. I've been to so many pages where I'm scrolling going, okay, the game name sounds cool. What the hell is the game? I need to find a screenshot or a video, and I'm scrolling. I'm like, this is ridiculous, and I just click off. So, your feed is your game. That should be the main priority.
I want to add in also, and this is a good example, like why we are talking right now. So when I reached out to you, because I saw, I can't remember exactly what you posted, but it was something similar,
great,
like
something cool.
Yeah, something incredible. But it was just like, so I'm thinking about doing a new kind of concept. Like, is there any indie devs that are interesting to share the game? And I think this is also something that is, and believe me, I have myself doubt as well, but you need to reach out when you see opportunity. Like, the worst thing that can happen is no, that you get to know. And so I remember, like, I can show my game, and you answer like, okay, you probably went into my Twitter page and saw like, okay, this seems cool. And then we had a chat, and and now we're sitting here. And I think that's also things that people need to do, like share the actual artwork. Like, don't wait until it's perfect or super polished, because if you go into the Twitter page I have and look at posts that I have uploaded, it's almost all of them. It's like, this is a work in progress, this is not done, this is this, and this is that. Like I mentioned, and like, this is not how it should look, but I want to share it anyway. And then I think also people get involved. I have some, and not ton, but there are some people that is actually almost communicating with me every day. And they're like, oh, this looks good, or you should do this, or you should do that. And it's like, sometimes I listen and sometimes I don't. But it's fun to see that people actually get involved in your development in itself. And, and that's how you actually get an audience in the end.
Well, it's the perfect example, isn't it? The fact that we are talking is an example of you doing your marketing properly. And as a streamer, I'm looking for, because again, it depends what streamer you're trying to attract as well. Because me as a streamer, I'm looking for games quite early on because I like to follow the process. So, and that's the kind of streamer you'd be looking for, because you're looking to share the process. So, but some streamers are looking for finished games. They want to have fun on their stream, and they want a cool game. So there's no point in reaching out to them if they're a streamer like that and saying, hi, I've got this alpha, do you want to play it on stream? What's the point? Because they're not going to be interested in that. It's not what they're looking for. It's vital to know who you're actually targeting and what you're looking to get out of it. I'm just trying to get the game shouts console game. Did you say it was a Steam exclusive?
No, it's not
yeah.
a Steam exclusive.
No.
It's just that I know how to market it. Like, I know how to do the marketing on Steam, but because this is no, sorry, not a racing game, but I don't think it's going to be that problematic to make this work on a console either.
Yeah.
And that is actually an idea I had from the beginning. Like, how can I reach out so when it comes to marketing, like the marketing part, as I already mentioned, I don't want this to be, if you make like, if I take, for example, if I would make this really gory and a lot of blood and things like that, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that, for example, in China, you can't show blood in video games.
Yeah.
And then you have like quite many people that can't buy your game because you added in blood. And then you have all like, when you, like if it get rated PG, I don't know, like 13 or whatever, then you get another like potential customers that can't buy the game. So I wanted to avoid everything about that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but then I also wanted to be like, okay, why should I only have this on a PC? It would be great if you have, because when it comes to console, and to be honest, in my experience, like when it comes to PlayStation and Xbox, you don't have, like there are some, but not as much, like just chill games where it comes to like, I just want to play something, relaxing. Many of them, like targeting, like you have Halo or Call of Duty or Battlefield or Red Dead Redemption. Otherwise, you buy a Nintendo. So I think there is a high potential to get customers from the Xbox and PlayStation player because they don't have the like Nintendo games. So that's actually something that I've been thinking about.
It's important. You do have to think about that stuff. Now, I've got a few more questions to ask, but I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break here. I don't have a be right back screen, so you're going to have the starting soon screen again. I'm sorry, everybody. So, I'll be back in 2 minutes, and we'll continue with some questions. So I'll speak to you in a second.
That sounds great.
Okay. We return. Hello. Okay, let me just see everybody. Now, okay, before we carry on, can I just confirm, everybody, have you made sure, because again, this is a community project, I do want everybody to be involved. Have we all gone to Twitter, if you're on Twitter, and followed Rasmus here? Have you all followed the Twitter account? It's getting posted in the feed all the time, so please make sure you go and follow on Twitter to get all the updates. And again, just show some support, build the account up. This is what's good. Of course, good. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to try and buzz through a few questions in, and then we're going to move on to what the plan for the next stream is, so we can find out what progress we want to hit. I'll make some notes so we don't forget, and we'll see how we get on. Thank you. Done, everybody. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm just... So Studio says pin your best game related tweet. Yeah, it's a good tip, Studio, for Twitter. This is, so make sure you got a pinned tweet, and make sure the pinned tweet is relevant. Make it your trailer, make it your gameplay, make it something about your game, and have some links in it. You know, it's
something, because my Twitter page is like, I don't know exactly how many followers I have, but it's something over 100, so it's not that much. And something that I figured out quite fast was, every time I did a post, I always pinned that, at the top, no matter what it was. But so if someone would visit my page, at least one of my tweets will be at the start. So you don't need to go and scroll through everything, because then you can start to go on everything, when you have screenshots Sunday or Saturday or everything like that. You can retweet. You can retweet everything, but your post will still be at the top. Good tips. And that's advice from me.
Good tips. We like it. Right, okay, I think we're getting to the end of the questions. Thank you for reminding Chad. Hello, for Indiescape. Oh, hello, how you doing? Any more questions, or have I missed? Make it a habit to repost your last good game tweet too, whenever you're finished using Twitter for the day or sometime. Oh yeah, it's a good idea. So your last post is just... because obviously your last post is going to be maybe inactive for 12 hours until you come back. So make sure your last tweet was something cool or something about your game. Don't leave your last tweet as retweeting somebody else. I think that's a good tip to have. Again, this is a page about your game. The focus needs to be 90% your game, and then obviously 10% other cool stuff that you see that might be relevant to your audience, which is fine. For the dev here. Okay, so right, let's move to some timelines. Okay, so if you can give us what should we head to? Okay, so what is on the timeline for around a month's time? What are you working on that you would like to show, or what do you have that's not finished now that you can show us, that you'd like us to come back and go, this is what it was like last week, and this is what it was like this week or month, whatever. So where are we at? Yeah.
So what I want to have done to the next stream.
I'm going to make a note. Pardon me typing. I'm going to make some notes.
Yeah, make notes. Because why I'm making this tutorial level is both strategic, but also in the marketing. Once again, I try to combine, because something that I think many people will agree on. It doesn't matter how good your game looks, because if it doesn't feel right, or if it's not fun, it doesn't matter if it's the most beautiful game you ever seen. So why I'm making a tutorial level at first, it's one, to get the player. You never know who's going to actually buy your game, so it's a good thing because if the person doesn't have that much experience to play it, if it's too advanced, unfortunately, I don't think people will buy it. And if it's not that kind of game you're creating, it doesn't really matter. But in my case, I want as many people as possible to be involved to buy the game.
Of course, absolutely.
But so I'm making this tutorial level, but also because the multiplayer will be the main thing. But as my understanding, when it comes to net coding and when it comes to actually have a good functional multiplayer experience, that's not the easiest thing to do. So if you can make a tutorial level where the car feels nice and you're going to have because you are going to shoot in this game, so the shoot system works, and all this like mechanics that is going to be in the multiplayer when you actually play the game, if that feels fun in a tutorial, then I think you're in a really, really good spot when it comes to actually succeeding with the multiplayer aspect as well. So from now on, I'm probably going to work quite a lot only on this tutorial level. So for me, I will continue, and I'm hopefully in the end of this month, this arena, because the tutorial is going to be in stages, and this will be actually the end of the tutorial where you are going to battle another player. It's going to be an AI, but you will actually have someone to fight against. That's why this have this, a little bit boss fight feeling over it.
It does, yeah.
But so I will continue creating this, and I hope when it comes to the code side of things, what we will have is a better, like some kind of shooting mechanic. It doesn't need to be perfect, but something that so you can actually start to shoot. I tried to code something, it went horrible. But
stick to what? Get out of here.
Well, in my defense, you could shoot. It just wasn't maybe that good.
So are you looking to have some pop-up targets or something that you can just practice drifting and shooting at the same time, or what's the idea?
Yeah, I'm gonna spoil because as a big thank you for having me on the stream, I'm gonna to spoil this a little bit, but it's going to be kind of a twist, because my goal is to have like the first room is going to be like use WASD to move. And you learn all the like core mechanics when it comes to the driving part and things like that. And I want to make this as the most friendly, cutesy, like really, really nice like game where we have the feeling of like this is a relaxed, like feel good game. And I want to add music that is going also to like implement like, okay, this is like farm wheel simulator or whatever. And I want to add this calm voice that explains everything to you. And, if you're trying to jump and fail, you're going to say, oh, that was a nice try, but do it again, so you get this comfort.
Sure.
And when you're done with the trailer, then it's going to just like cut off to this really like heavy metal music, and you go into this like battle arena, and you're gonna have this like AI that you're gonna fight about, and you're just gonna get this completely different feeling that is actually going to be the game like for real. Like you want this have this cool, high explosive. So for me, hopefully this stage will be more or less done when it comes to the static part, and and code wise I hope for some kind of shoot mechanic. I can show
I'm making a note.
Yeah, I can.
I've lost my page.
Just to so this is the targets that I have been working on currently. Just to like add. So remember, these are not going to be in this room, but you have like these heart-shaped like balloon with like targets on it.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like try to use the shoot mechanic, and when you shoot on it, they're gonna pop, and you're gonna get some confetti, and you're gonna say, "Oh, congratulations, you made it! And now you're ready for the next step." And like we will see if it flies. In my head, it feels really fun, but
until you actually do it. Yeah, but I like the idea of it saying, you almost got that sort of like lift music like oh, good effort, you really tried. Then you just have that that record player screech noise, like, and it just goes like, oh my god, what's going on? Just the chaos kicks in. I like the idea. That's good. So tutorial. So you want to have the tutorial level to a point where you have some targets to aim at. You have it mainly mapped out. Is that what you're looking to do?
So for me, to the next month is the targets was something that I sidetracked it because after a while you get a little bit blind when you like how should this look. So I just started to do something else. But my goal is to have a more polished end level of the tutorial. That's a static part is the goal. And code wise, some kind of shooting mechanic. And I don't know how much time he still need when it comes to because something that we have talked about is when it comes to the driving, it's going to be so important that it really feels good to drive the car.
I know you said he was. So you need him to kind of implement that before you know what, because you can't really do the level until you know what the car feels like, can you?
No, exactly. So that's why I designed this to be flat as well. Like the whole level is going to just be. It might feel like it's have much more of level, but this is like the only thing on the whole map that have some kind of curvature. The rest is going to be like a straight line when it comes to the collision. So
so we've got that. So I've got it on here. You're going to work on the tutorial level for next month. You're going to have more polish, and you want to start implementing these shooting mechanics depending on the car movement stuff. So when we come back, that's where we're going to be looking at. So this is the level as it is now. We don't have anything here. It's just the artwork, the map of the tutorial level. So we're going to come back to this in a month's time, and we'll see where the changes are happening, and then you can tell us what went wrong, what didn't go wrong. Why
I'm probably gonna be sick if nothing have happened. It's like, oh, sorry, I can't really do it this time. I have the stomach flu. I can't shoot.
But the thing is, though, that is also important because I think developers need to see that you might say you're going to do this in a month, but it doesn't happen, and it's just even interesting to discuss. Okay, why didn't it happen? They say, well, because I was sick, I was doing that, and I was like, so this is why when you're developing the game, you need to build in these buffers sometimes. To know when things go wrong, like if you can't work for a month because you're ill, then what can the programmer, what can he be doing so the project keeps moving without stopping you? Do you know what I mean? So little things like that.
Exactly.
Interesting to discuss.
And actually, I will, I will come back with and be ashamed if I haven't done this. But I will take, I will take the responsibility that I haven't done what I'm told to do. But I just want to add in also why I want to make this tutorial, because something that I think is, and I don't know if this is a good idea, but in my head it feels like a great idea.
We can talk
because if I make a tutorial level that actually works, I can actually just create the tutorial game as a standalone game and send it to people so they can game test it like in a really early stage before you even take it to the multiple platform, because it's going to be probably such a headache. If you make the tutorial, make all these different, like the driving mechanics, you have the shooting system and everything like that, and you start a multiplayer server and people, but like the car feels really, really bad. The shooting mechanics is off, and then you need to start to figure these things out.
It's a perfect enclosed environment to test all the mechanics, test the feels, and without affecting the rest of the game, isn't it? It's like a standalone piece of the game.
Exactly.
For testing. So I think it's a good idea. And again, as long as tutorials are optional, I'm happy. I like tutorials, but as long as they're optional, when they start and you have to do it, that really gets on my nerves. I don't like that.
Same here. And it will be an option because it's such a everyone will probably understand quite fast what this game is about. So if you don't want to do the tutorial, I don't really see if it would be if something would be super unique for this game when it comes to game mechanics, then you can have a other discussion if it's necessary with a tutorial.
Yeah.
But this is not that kind of game, so I think it would just be irritating if you can't skip the tutorial.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just sitting there for people who want to use it, and it does also give you a chance to, like I said, if you're going to send it to people, it's a perfect thing to send them as a little vertical slice, as it were. Who have we got here? Baz the Dev. Oh, hey, Baz, how you doing? I just got home. Congrats on the new series. Still loving the name. Happy to be here on episode 1. Now, has anybody said the name yet? DevTales. Woo-hoo. Kart racing, backer bros. Hey, back. Yeah, no, it's not kart racing. See, now this is coming up. So maybe it's something we need to look at for name. Yeah, maybe it's something we need to consider and run a poll on, see what people are feeling. Maybe there's an alternative word that's not racing, battler or something you can put in there. But hey, this is what it's all here for. I'm making a kart racing game too. Oh yes, you are, backer bros. Yes. The dev got some. I mean, let me go to YouTube. Maybe we'll read it on here. This dev has got some head on his shoulders. I like words coming out of his mouth. Great start to the new series, Richard. And nowhere to go but down. That's the spirit, Essie. Looking forward to following along. Good. I'm glad you're liking it. I'm glad you're liking this series, everybody. Are you going to release a demo? Yeah. Well, I assume a demo is on the way at some point.
So as I said, the first, I wouldn't call it a demo. It's more of a alpha testing when it comes to this trailer ID that I have, because the multiplayer will be the big factor for the game. But I think people, just as with marketing, I think people are a little bit too late out when it comes. Oh, sorry, this is my dog that is streaming. Wait, sorry.
Oh, the dog's streaming. Oh.
Yeah, he started with half bark here.
That's all right.
I need to wake him up.
Yes, it is usually, yes.
But I think people are a little bit too late when it comes to actually alpha or beta testing their game, because it's such a short span. If you just release the game like a beta test and like this is coming out in 1 month, and people are bashing it for whatever reason, you have such little time to fix it. So my goal is, this will probably be a little bit of impossible, but if I could wish for it, I would want to have some kind of demo in 6 months. But it would probably be more in 8-month period of time. Like I said, if I could wish for it, 6 months.
Of course, it does depend. I mean, again, that's the thing. You don't quite know when it's going to be ready. It's ready when it is ready, as long as you've got it in your mind. And the good thing is, hopefully, see, the other thing is that when you do get to the stage where you're doing little bits of testing and stuff, hopefully that means we can use the audience here. We've got a group of people here, and you've all would have. I'm assuming you're all going to watch every single month. Everybody, I'm assuming you're going to tune in. But that means we've got a collection of people here that know the game, know what it's supposed to be like, and can do some little testing for you and give you honest feedback, because they all understand what they're not going to be asking the same questions, because we've all been watching every week, every month. So it's a good chance to share it with the audience as well for testing.
And that's also something that I had. I know that we were talking about this off stream, but so I already have my foot in game development, like a character artist, as I've said before. But the coder, he have never coded a game before. He's a coder for I don't know how many years, but he have been like coding for. This is just a guess, but I think at least 15 years. And he have a lot of his experience with code, but not for games. But I have a true belief when it comes to, like, if you want to learn something and you're passionate about it, you will learn it. And the same goes when it comes to animation. I know a little bit of animation. I'm not a pro animator in any necessary way, but that's come the same for my little brother, for example. He wants to be an animator, so currently I have given him this character, and it's like, okay, I know how it should look. So if you like really want to create animation for this game, like give it a go, and if it looks good, and we can apply it into the game.
That's nice.
And yeah, and this is something that I feel like with everything, and this is not that I say that because the more people you are, in some aspect it's going to go faster, but it also slows the project down because you're going to have more opinions and blah 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 blah. But you like, if people want to help with this like this game overall, just if you have an idea, send it over. Like, it's always fun to see ideas and hear opinions, and if it's like, oh, I'm really good at in case music is going to probably be one thing that I will need help with, maybe that's something that we can sort out, like if it's going to be paid, or if it's going to be rev share, or like if it whatever, that's a future problem.
Of course it is,
you know, so feel free to reach out if you have any ideas or suggestions or whatever. And probably their name feels like something that people have opinions about. I might change it if I feel like I get a good suggestion.
I mean, the thing is, it's worth the discussion, isn't it? So, like I said, so a couple of things. So as we sort of wrap up here, a couple of things we kind of need to discuss in the future is, obviously next week we'll be discussing how the progress is going. We'll check in on all that, of course. The name has come up as being, again, so in case you've just got here, this is an arena shooter, but you're in a cart. Is basically, you know, it's like, how do you explain it? Like, it's like Quake, but in cute dinosaur cars.
But it's really important that you in the car will not shoot. It's the Egginator here on the side that is going to shoot for you.
Little Egginator.
So the Egginator is the villain. You can see him here. He actually has some small animation on him.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, so you can see he has his barrel stuck out of the egg. And I had more VFX on him, but the game engine crashed and everything disappeared. I had like small spark that was flying out from him, and a little bit of smoke. So he is actually the one that is going to shoot.
Right. So that is the shooting mechanic. But we do need to discuss. So if anybody's got, like I said, so it does have the word racing in the game title. So if anybody's got any suggestions, good, bad, opinions on it, then please connect with us, with the developer, with Rasmus, whatever we want, on Twitter, on here, that we can discuss whether it is a problem, whether it should be left. What are your opinions? We know it's worth discussing while it's at this early stage, because that is why we need to discuss this. Studio says he's happy to test anything. I would be happy to test at any stage. Programmer art is fine. Yeah, okay, there you go. Beautiful, Studio, thank you. A fast-paced arena kart shooter makes me think of a name like Clash or Crash. Yeah, okay, that's good. I like that. Clash or Crash. Yeah, see, these ideas, just if you've got name ideas, chuck them out there, because it might never change, but it might just spark something you think, that fits a bit better. You never know.
And as I said, I'm open to suggestions. Is it?
Yeah. I
don't know. It's not a catchy name, but in a way, it's such a weird name. It becomes catchy.
No, it's a good name. But like I said, I think as racing isn't the main mechanic.
No, I totally understand the point, I agree. I don't want to admit I agree, but I do.
So Studio says, don't put racing in the name. Fans of multiplayer arena games will see it and turn away. Yeah, if that's who you're targeting, I can see that. Reading the name might be exposure. Sometimes reading the name might be the only exposure you get. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's actually really true.
Yeah, but hey, again, this is why it's interesting to discuss this stuff, and these are coming from developers as well. So it's all and streamers. I see streamers here as well. So, but that's something we can discuss. Well, it's up to you. But we can all discuss this in the future. When we come back next month, we can discuss opinions. If you've had any ideas or thoughts about it, we can talk about it. But I do. I'm trying to keep these in the hour and a half kind of range, everybody, because otherwise no one's going to rewatch them, and we do need people to rewatch them and follow it along. So Daredevil has a question. Without a design or a plan for scope, when will he know when the game is finished? Smiley face.
I have a plan for the scope. I never said I didn't have a plan for the scope. The only thing I said was I don't need a design scope like in a text document, because like I am the only designer, so I know how it should look. Because I have a quite clear image how it should look. But when it comes to the scoping in itself, like as we already have discussed right now, I'm making this tutorial level that is the part of the scope. Like if I can make all the main mechanic works in the tutorial stage, and hopefully I actually have a date. I think it's the 1st of June we were discussing, like it needs to be done 1st of June. And if it's not done in that time period, like, okay, how much more time do we need? Are we talking about it's just like 1 or 2 weeks more, then it's not a problem. But if we are discussing like we might need like 6 months to finish it, then we need to rescope it, because
you've gone way off then. Yeah,
exactly. So, and that's one part of the actually scoping of this game. And I'm pretty sure the thing that is going to take the most time is not this tutorial level. The biggest problem is going to be to have a good netcode, and when it comes to servers, for actually the multiplayer aspect, so you can play multiplayer. And I have no experience when it comes to multiplayer, and the coder doesn't have the experience either. So there will be like, okay, we are going to try it out. Will it be like we can't figure it out? Then we have discussion. Okay, maybe we pay people to actually that have the knowledge when it comes to the multiplayer aspect to create that part. But that's a future problem.
But that's why, again, like creating this tutorial, that's why, again, as Dyer says, creating this tutorial section gives you that chance to really sort of flesh out how it feels, and is it possible, and is it going the way you want it to go without having to do the whole world of levels.
So there is a scope.
There is a scope.
There is a scope.
Yeah, chill out. Okay, so we've got here, Studio says you should be very proud of how far you've got in just 8 weeks.
Oh, thank you.
What else we've got? How are we going to? How will we deal with him if he doesn't complete his monthly tasks, Richard? So I'll let the chat. You can decide his punishment if it's not in. Everyone gets biscuit but him. Nice, brutal. Had any game inspirations for making this game, or something you thought would be fun? Arctal. We spoke about that earlier, Arc. How it was a game idea that sounded fun, and obviously that's a key point. As long as you're not planning on a lot of other players, there's quite a robust framework within Unity for handling multiplayer, networking, and syncing. So okay, that's good to know, Daredevil. So that's something for you to look at to see whether that's going to work. If he fails, he has to sing the whole DuckTales song, intro song.
Then I think it's unfair if I do my part, but the code doesn't make his part. Like it. Then he needs to come to the stream and sing.
He needs to take his punishment. Send a video of him singing it. I like it. I like these brutal suggestions though, and I'm for it. Okay, so like I said, we're going to call it to an end here. Please, everybody, as I've said before, please go and follow the game on Twitter. The link is right in there in the chat. Go and follow the account, interact, send messages, whatever you want to do. Just keep the interactions going. It's been awesome to have you all here interacting. It's been fabulous. It's a fabulous start to the series. Things will get tweaked with a layout here and all sorts of stuff, so it will get adjusted and tweaked as we go. He's already got some game developers' book of excuses at hand, I see.
Yeah. I've learned from the best.
Absolutely. Yeah. How can I get out of this? How can I make it not my fault?
I watched every Blizzard interview, I know all the tricks.
Everybody. So again, hopefully you found this entertaining. And we are... So, I mean, again, I can't give you an exact date because... we live in two separate countries. We've got separate lives. We're trying to figure out. So, in around the start of April ish, you know, the sort of 4th of April, that kind of time, we'll come back with the second stream for this game, and we will catch up with Rasmus, find out how he's getting on, find out where he's at with the development. Again, it won't be as long as this stream because this is the intro stream. It's always going to be longer when you find out about the game. So if you've enjoyed the stream, please like the YouTube video, please comment on the YouTube video, because that VOD will stay up now forever, and it will be in a playlist all by itself, so you can follow up on these VODs in order in future. So yeah, a huge thank you to Rasmus for joining us. I really appreciate it. I know it's late there as well.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you as well, and thank you everyone that have been watching. And I really like the questions.
Yeah, some are brutal, but yeah, great. There's some great questions that you didn't think of.
I have been on Reddit for like 10 years. Like, nothing can hurt me anymore. You know, when I was learning 3D, you post something, it's like, well, what do people think about this creature? And it's like, it fucking sucks. And it's like, oh my. It's like, okay, that goes my ego. So yeah, bring it. I promise I can take it. But
well, I think we've got quite a supportive community here. And the thing is, it's also, again, these are questions that need to be asked, because the point of this, of this whole series is to help you develop the game, help push it along, and give you some sort of accountability for what you're creating, so we can just keep chasing you, basically. But again, I think the game has huge promise. I'm excited as I was when I first saw it, which means, like I said, marketing-wise, you've done a great job. So that's great. Oh, yeah, Gun. Hello, Gun. First-time chatter. Hello. Really great progress for 8 weeks. Yeah, excited to see the progress moving forward. Cool. Well, you can see an update on the progress if you follow the Twitter account, and if you come back here in around 4 weeks, and we'll catch up. So, yeah. And here was me thinking I was being nice. Daredevil, the troublemaker. I also want to say thank you to, by the way, Daredevil. I want to say thank you to Daredevil, because he came to me with this concept for the stream and said that I should run with it. So a big thank you. So if you like this, then say thank you to Daredevil, because it was his idea.
Thank you, Daredevil. I love this concept.
So there you go. Okay, that's enough credit for him. Jesus, calm down, everybody. Calm down.
It's a problem. I'm gonna be biased because I'm a part of this.
Again,
but,
I'm all for bias. You should be biased. Everybody should be biased about their own content. It should be the best. You should think it's awesome. So yeah. So again, everybody, this can't happen unless you all interact and show up. Otherwise, it's just me and Rasmus talking, which is great. But you know, we need you here. So we really appreciate you joining us. You've done a great job, both of you. This was really good. This was as good as I was expecting. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate it very much. Feel free to share any clips of the stream. Tag us both on this. If you've got any questions, contact Rasmus on the Twitter page again, which I've linked there, and contact me. And well, you know what to do. So that wraps up Season 1, Episode 1, Game 1. Stream 1. That's the end of the show, everybody. So thank you for all the support. Appreciate all the new follows. Welcome in, everybody. And again, Fox Hollow Games. Hello, you've joined right at the end. Good job, Fox Hollow. The VOD will be available. It's available as soon as this goes offline. There will be a VOD available if you want to catch up. Really enjoyed the format. Thanks for putting it on. Yeah, my pleasure, Otto. Otto? Of course you're Otto now. I've just given you a new name, Otto. How? Of course, I came back right at the end. Yeah, of course, mate. You made it. Well done. Okay, so I'm going to say goodnight. Good night, Rasmus. It's been lovely talking to you, man. I really appreciate you bringing the game to us.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And for me, live, I don't know what day it is anymore. It's my birthday on Sunday, so I may do a stream sometime on Sunday, just so you can say happy birthday to me and shower me with praise. So I might be back, all right? So we'll see then. But I'll be live again in a couple of days, and I need to record a new video for the channel because I'm slow. So okay, until next week, until whenever we come back. Goodbye, everybody. See you later.
Goodbye.
End. End, yes.